Hi, it's Jane with Scraptastic and today we are going to talk about reverse dieting. Yes, it is a thing. This is hashtag 50 gone by 2024, and here's the medical disclaimer. Always check with your physician before starting any exercise program or diet regimen. Information here is my personal research into different health topics and should not be considered medical advice. Okay, what is a reverse diet, you ask? Well, I asked that too, because I found it rather interesting. After dieting, many people regain the lost weight. So reverse dieting aims to prevent this post-diet rebound. And it is important that we talk about it. I mean, we've been talking about dieting, drinking water, getting enough sleep, getting exercise, different types of exercise. So once you've lost your weight, now we do need to talk about reverse dieting. To practice reverse dieting, you slowly increase your calorie intake after a period of calorie restriction. This allows your metabolism to ramp back up to its old energy burn. That's the hypothesis anyway. There's the rub. We still don't have much data on reverse dieting. It's mostly anecdotes from bodybuilders, but the underlying assumptions do make some sense. You'll learn about those assumptions very, very shortly, and you'll learn how to get started with reverse dieting, the benefits, the downsides, and all that kind of stuff. So here we go. What is reverse dieting? Reverse dieting is the practice of slowly reversing your diet. Instead of ending it abruptly, you transition back to normal portions in a stepwise fashion. The theory behind reverse dieting is that gradually increasing calorie intake gives your metabolism time to fire back up again, preventing the dreaded post-diet weight gain. Post-diet weight gain is a well-documented phenomenon. To illustrate, you're going to look at the data from The Biggest Loser. How many of those people lost tremendous amounts of weight and then gained quite a bit back, if not all of it? If you haven't heard of it, The Biggest Loser is a TV show that puts obese and overweight contestants on a very severely calorie-restricted diet. The contestants lose lots of weight. One person loses the biggest amount, and then there's a big, huge celebration. Of course. Sorry about that, folks. But when the confetti stops streaming and the camera lights click off, something unfortunate happens. The contestant regains the lost pounds. Why? Because their metabolisms are stuck in low power mode. They're only burning 1,200 calories per day, but they're consuming 2,000. If they were reverse dieting, they might transition by eating 1,300 calories one week, 1,400 the next. Hypothetically, this would stimulate the metabolism and satiety hormones like leptin, mitigating that fat rebound. Potential benefits of reverse dieting. Reverse dieting is popular among bodybuilders who regularly enter bulking and cutting phases. And if you know anybody that's a wrestler, you know they do the same thing. When a cut ends, the athlete wants to regain muscle, but not fat. There is this premise of reverse dieting. When your diet ends, you regain less fat because your metabolic rate has time to recover. In other words, your metabolism readjusts to a higher calorie load. You eat a bit more, you burn a bit more, and so on. Consequently, it becomes easier to maintain your desired weight. We should also mention that leptin, this metabolism-boosting, satiety-promoting hormone, may become desensitized during calorie restriction, and increasing calories, especially carbs, can get it humming again. That's the logic behind carb cycling, and it's similar to the logic behind reverse dieting. There are some potential cons of reverse dieting. The main risk of reverse dieting: overeating. I mean, duh. That's simple enough. If you reintroduce calories too aggressively, you could overeat and rebound. Even if you reintroduce calories slowly, you could still rebound. They don't have the science to know for sure. Not yet. This con is less concerning for athletes who burn significant energy while exercising. If you exercise more, you have a wider latitude to eat more. If you're less active, you have a smaller margin of error. Note, portion control tends to happen naturally on a keto diet because high-fat diets are satisfying, satiating. How to reverse diet. If you want to reverse diet, start by making a plan. There are some tips to help you form that plan. 1. Do the original diet. If you want to lose weight, plan to eat fewer calories. There are carb manager apps that can help with you, all kinds of calorie diet apps that can help you track and stick to your new calorie goal. But don't be too aggressive. Heavy-duty calorie restriction, as in The Biggest Loser, may cause a permanent metabolic slowdown that you won't necessarily recover from. Instead, keep your calorie reduction at a modest 5 to 15% deficit per day. That is a much more sustainable strategy. Limiting carbs by going keto may help you cut calories naturally because keto decreases those hunger hormones like ghrelin, making it harder to overeat. And yes, tracking those macros with any of those apps is going to make it a snap and easy to do. One last tip is to make sure that you get enough protein. 0.5 gram of protein per pound of body weight is a good target, closer to 1 gram if you are active. Being low on protein causes muscle loss, and we don't like that. It's not good. Assess your progress. Continually check in with your health goals. Once you've reached your target weight, it's time to try reverse dieting. Slowly increase your calories. Don't return to normal portions overnight. Instead, inch your way back to transition your metabolism. For example, if you were at a 500 calorie deficit, add 100 calories at a time for 5 to 6 weeks. Slow and steady is the key to reverse dieting. Keep checking in. Reverse dieting is an unvalidated weight maintenance strategy. Keep this in mind as you tinker with it. If you find yourself regaining lost weight, back off and reassess. Maybe reverse dieting isn't for you. Maybe you need to just have a maintenance diet where you only do a certain amount and that's it. Some of that's going to depend on your activity, your age, your metabolic response, everything else. The best way to prevent weight rebounds is by losing weight gradually via a mild calorie deficit. If you try the starvation-style Biggest Loser diet, no amount of reverse dieting may help you. Keep that in mind. And I know a lot of people did that. So before we wrap up, there are some rapid-fire questions on reverse dieting. Let's look at some of those, shall we? How do I reverse diet to recover from metabolic damage? Science hasn't answered this question yet. If you have metabolic issues, focus on eating a whole foods diet, sleeping well, and exercising daily. Once you handle those areas, you might experiment with reverse dieting. Does reverse dieting work without exercise? Folks, that's not real clear. Reverse dieting probably works better for active folks because exercise helps burn those calories. Sorry folks, we gotta exercise. Plus exercise keeps your muscles good and strong, keeps you from falling, those kind of things. Can I reverse diet without working out or gaining weight? Working out doesn't just help with weight maintenance, but also general health. Exercise will make your reverse dieting experiment run smoother. Which works better, reverse dieting or carb cycling? And they admit that is hard to say. Both regimens may stimulate leptin and the metabolic rate, but both carry the risk of overeating. In general, both appear to work best for athletes, and that's because they train hard for those things. How long should I reverse diet? That depends on your original diet. Reversing a 25% calorie deficit will take longer than reversing a 5% calorie deficit. The smaller your calorie deficit, the smoother your transition will be. That is your key takeaway for today. And I wish it was better news, but it's not. But that is some information on what's called reverse dieting. And if we've all lost our weight to where we want to be, we are going to have to somehow manage that weight loss and not gain. So that is going to be real tricky, and that is probably something where you need to work with the dietitian, nutritionist, your physician. As always, you want to make sure that you are doing that. So there you have it, the reverse diet. All right, guys, that is it for today. And try to go out there and be a blessing to someone. Do a kind deed for someone this week. And get out there and see this big, beautiful world we live in. And I'll see you again next week. Bye.